Hi, my people, Davorka here again, and let's continue the recap of UPW. Actually, this video is going to be the last video regarding the day one, recap of the day one, which was all about breakthrough and turning fear into power. So now we are coming to the part of the practical psychology. So we are all practical psychologists, but in order to become effective practical psychologists, there are three questions we must answer according to Tony, and not just Tony, other people also, other experts in this field. So the question number one is, what stops you from moving forward? What stops all of us from moving forward? And the answer to that is always fear. Whenever we feel fear, we are just stopped in our stance, right? And we do not move forward. If we overcome our fear, we're already on the road and going further. The question number two is, what controls and determines the quality of your life? And that is actually emotions, right? Whatever you feel shows the quality of your life. So just think about it. If your dominant emotion over the course of your day is negative one, how would you feel about your life? Your life, the quality of your life would be really low. You would feel miserable. But if your dominant emotions over the course of your days is mostly positive, then of course that your quality of your life, the way that you feel about your life, would be better, right? And more fulfilled, and you would be happier. And here he goes into the explanation of the patterns that do create emotions, but I'm going to come to that later. Now let's go to the question number three, and that is, why do we do what we do? And I actually answered that question in my previous video, and that is that everything that we do in our lives, we do have a reason for that. So what is behind all our reasons for doing whatever we do? And that would be needs. And then Tony goes further into the primal needs and then spiritual needs. But let's go back and explain something about fear. And now fear is hardwired into all of us. So you can't, like, it's not even healthy to have no fears in life, of course. You need to have fear fear is really helpful in dangerous and difficult situations. It keeps us alive. However, this old brain of ours, it's hardwired the way that every time that we feel that something is challenging us, we do feel this fear of flight or fight response, right? So because we're not anymore in the situation where we need to run from the lion or dinosaurs or whatever it was in in the past. However, we still do have this primal defense system. Unfortunately, this primal defense system is not working properly, because it's shutting on, it's turning on in the situations where it's not needed anymore, as it is, right? So there are only two primary fears that are the basis of all the fears that we fear. And there is the fear number one is the fear of not being enough. We always feel that we are not enough for something, not good enough, not smart enough, not funny enough, not interesting enough. And the fear number two is that we won't be loved. So we won't be accepted, we won't be loved, we won't be part of the community, part of the family, or whatever we are thinking about. So those are the two primary fears that we all have, and all other fears are just building out of that, right? Just branching out of those two primary fears. So when it comes to the question number two, and emotions that which are the ones that control and give the quality of our lives. So how is emotion created? Okay, so Tony calls that the state triad of emotions are basically the emotion is created through three patterns. The pattern number one is your psychology. Again, think about it. Whenever you are happy or ecstatic, you're not holding yourself like that. Your voice is not really low and down. You're happy. You're talking, you're everything about you shows that you're energetic. Your energy is up. So that's the psychology. And even if you put yourself right now in this state and leave yourself a little bit like that, you would feel a little bit more negative emotions. Your vibration, your energy is going to go down. And basically, emotions are energy, right? But if you put yourself in this state of being a superhero, your energy is going to go a little bit up. Okay, so physiology is a big thing. It's not something to discard. Basically, it works, right? And here is even mentioned that it includes our face also. So if you're putting your face like this, first of all, you're gonna laugh because you look like an idiot. You look silly. But I just remembered one thing, and that is that there was this laughing training that was added to the corporate certain corporate companies in Japan, because they are really famous for being workaholic and being really stressed. So they had this exercise for their people, and basically every day they would just sit in a circle, and they would just laugh, but not laugh from the heart, like because they heard something funny. They just started laughing, purposely laughing. And then after a few minutes, they would really take it off, and they would really start laughing for sure and for real. And of course, their stress level and their went really down, and they were feeling more energetic throughout the day. And it was really, really good exercise for them to bring their energy level up. So just think about that. And even when you see somebody laughing, it's contagious, right? You have to start laughing even though you have no idea why that person is laughing. So physiology is a big part of creating of emotion. The second one is your focus and beliefs. Okay, so it says whatever you focus on, you're going to believe. And as I mentioned before, we have many thoughts that we think of during the course of one day. Whatever thought you have and you give that thought meaning to, that becomes your belief. And when you're focusing on that, um, it says focus equals the reality to the individual, even though it's not real reality in actuality, right? It brings you bring yourself in this state where you believe that this is true. Okay, so whatever you believe in and you focus on that, you make that a reality for yourself. So I was talking about my friend who had really negative opinion about people who are rich, financially rich, and because he was given, focus to that every time he heard about somebody having money, because his focus was on negative, he always heard about most of that. And of course his reality was created through his focus of being really negative about person having money. And then of course he heard about many examples of people being really mean, and people who are mean that they have money, and he created his own reality. And this is actually something that that I was talking about in law of attraction. This is attraction, right? But whatever you focus on, you attract. So this is it. And of course, if you focus on negative beliefs, that's how you're going to create even firmer emotion about that, right? And emotion is a state of mind, of your body, of your mind. The third thing that we do when that the pattern that creates emotion is language you use and meaning you create. Again, when it comes to this example of my friend and his way of seeing people rich, every time he was talking about rich people, is like, oh, those rich people, okay, oh, he has a new car, who did he rob to get that new car? So every time the meaning was really negative, and the language was not it was not happy, it was derogatory um, language. So those are the three patterns that create emotion. So again, psychology, then psychology, and then it was focus, and then language and meaning, right? Language with meaning that you give. When it comes to the question number 3 of practical psychologist, and what we need to think about, and that is about the reason or the needs that are standing behind the reasons. So this is something that is really interesting to me, because I never thought about it in this way. I've been studying psychology before, but it was this was broad, but I feel like Tony actually cut it a little bit shorter, and it's actually really good. So he says that we all do have 4 primal needs, right? So primal need number 1 is certainty. We all need to feel certain about something, like stability and comfort. We have to have that feeling in our life. The primal need number 2 is uncertainty. So we need to have variety of things, right? Not We don't always want to have everything written in front of us and always presented in front of us. Sometimes we want to be surprised and excited about something. The primal need number 3 is significance or importance. So we all need to have certain level of significance in our society or to other people, or we need to have a certain role that has some kind of significance. And also, that when it comes to this, also it comes to the situations where people say, okay, I want to leave legacy behind. Okay, you want to build something and you want people to remember you about something, and you want to be important, right? Primal need number 4 is connection or love. You need to feel like you belong in certain society or in your family. You need to feel that connection, because we are social beings. We need other people. No matter how introvert you are, you always need a certain level of connection with other people. And then there comes the 2 spiritual needs. One need that we need is growth. And as Tony says, is if you're not growing, you're dying. So you need to move forward. You need to change something. You need to learn something. If you're baking a bread, first time it's not going to go well, but you need to do it again, and then next time it's going to be better, and you feel a little bit better because you grew a little bit. You are a little bit better in that. The 16th or the second spiritual need is contribution. So we need to feel like we are of service. We like to help other people. We need to feel like we can contribute and we can give something to others, right? And to the society. However, all of these 6 needs, 4 primal and 2 spiritual, they can be seen from positive side and from the negative side. Okay, for example, when it comes to, let's say, certainty, it can be seen from positive side. Okay, I need to have the certainty or comfort of having food on my table, or having roof over my head. But when it comes to the negative is, for example, um certainty in a negative way can be like when you are completely um, out of mind if you don't have it exactly of, two loads of bread for today, or two cartons of milk for today. You're completely, you have to have them, so that's a little bit obsessive. Okay, so that's a negative side of that. Or going to the store and buying unnecessary things just for the case of you needing to have them. So that can be like, I'm covering myself for later on. If you see something on sale and then you overbuy, and that was not the purpose of doing that. And I do that. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but yeah, that's the negative part of the certainty. When it comes to uncertainty, the positive part would be that variety, that you need variety, and you need that excitement in your life and surprise in your life. But also negative part would be if you are just focusing on, you can be stable at all, right? And you just, for example, people who are changing their jobs all the time, and or people who are moving all the time, they just can't get settled down to one place. So they just need some kind of changement all the time in their activity. And um, this goes also um go also to people who are just doing certain things that they just feel like if there is no other things in their life, they're just going to lose themselves, right? And they just want to be playful all the time. Sometimes you just need that certainty, you need to settle down a little bit. Then, when it comes to the significance or importance, so positive, of course, let's say you want to leave a legacy behind of you, or you want to climb in your company and get to the higher role, and you want to have that importance behind yourself. But also negative part can be that you're so full of yourself because you are important. Or maybe something that I'm actually really familiar with, because I have a family member who is like that, and that is that um, you feel significant due to complex problems that you have in your life. And your life, you have so many problems that you know that other people couldn't solve. So that kind of significance can be negative one. If you are seeking for that, so kind of value that kind of, and you really need it. When it comes to connection, it can be of course positive and negative. Negative can be when you are just overbearing and just so needy of love, and just suffocating other people, and just being too needy. That can be negative connection, or just being controlling in a way towards other people, because you want to have that connection in your hands. um, Spiritual needs, growth can be, of course we all need to grow to move forward. But and here is a really good quote. It says, unless you feel like you're growing, you will be unhappy and unfulfilled. But also the negative part of that would be completely, like you're just focusing on that, and completely being crazy about it, basically, about growth, and focusing only on growth and nothing else. Because yes, we all do need growth, but we also do need certain stages of our lives where we're going to be complacent, right? If we are all the time just growing, learning, and just running about for the next possible thing, we are not celebrating our little wins. And this is the negative part of the spiritual need for growth, right? Because you're so much focused on growth, and you're forgetting about the smelling the roses and simple pleasures in life. And the sixth one would be contribution. And of course, the contribution is positive, right? We want to serve others, help others. But when we look at it from self how we appreciate ourselves. For example, if I didn't contribute today, I'm not a worthy person, then that's a negative part of contribution, right? So now for the exercise part, I explained a little bit, and what you need to do, and what I actually did was going through all of those primal needs, and explain what are the ways that you get those needs in your life, and how would you see it from a positive way and negative way. We all do it in both ways, right? But and just do it like that, explain it for all those needs. I mean, for primal needs, we didn't do the spiritual needs. And okay, and then the other part of that would be, again, this was really interesting for me. And that's the question, that out of those 6 human needs, which 2 do you value the most? So then you write them down. And at this point, you're going to know which 2 you value the most. And then after you do that, then explain to yourself what are the consequences of you valuing those 2 needs the most. And after you do that, then ask yourself, should you replace those 2 needs with some 2 other needs? So to explain to you, we all have all of those 6 needs in ourselves. We all do have them, but we don't all value them the same. So this is the question about the first 2 needs that you value the most. Okay, for me, the first 2 needs that I did value before the most was first certainty and second connection. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but explain yourself, are you valuing the most certainty in a positive way or in a negative way? And the same goes to the connection, in a positive or in a negative way. For me, certainty was in a positive way, but connection was in a negative way. Okay, I was valuing the most in a negative way, and I was really afraid of not being enough for other people, and not and this is how I actually discovered my limited belief and my fear that I had my whole life. And I was not really, I knew it from on a certain level, but this deep I didn't I didn't know that it went right. So think about that. And also, after you do that, after you explain that to yourself, ask yourself, um, what kind of, would you need to change those needs into something else? Do you need to change those needs to value most some other needs at this point in your life? Again, this is changeable, it's not forever. You are changing, and in every stage you need to change your needs according to the stage and whatever you feel that is necessary at that point. So this is the question. So what 2 new needs do you need to change, if you need to change them, and for your life to transform? And if you do make the change, how would your life transform, right? What would transform in your life? And once you go through that, then you get a little bit more clarity of everything. Basically, everything you do here and everything we did there is starting to connect with yourself and knowing yourself a little bit better and from inside, right? Because we just, as it turns out, we all know ourselves only on the surface. We don't really know ourselves from the inside. We don't know what takes us and why do we think the way that we think, because we never think about it that way. And this is just the exercise of us going deeper and see it from the deeper stage, right? And then you go, after that, there was this exercise of breaking through fear. So you have to actually, those are just 2 questions, I believe. Yeah, 2 questions. And basically the main point of the question number 1 is you asking yourself, what is the belief or emotion that is currently limiting you? And just describe, and just describe in what way is it limiting you, how does it prevent you to to just grow and succeed in your life, to go to your own personal next level. When it comes to and then after that, and this is again the question that is just connected to that, and that is when you what emotions do you feel actually? So that emotions that are belief or emotion that is currently limiting you, what is the emotion that you feel? Okay, ask yourself that. And if you break through that emotion, what emotion would you feel? And who are you when you break through that emotion? Who are you on your highest level? Who are you? And then you need to, and this is really important, you need to write, I am this, I am this. In my situation, I actually just awakened the understanding that I am a leader. I'm that personality, and I am a leader. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just toning myself down because of all of this limited beliefs. But this is my natural state of being. I'm a leader. I'm a great person. I'm a good person. I want to help people, and I'm actually a good person. And I don't like, why am I doing this to myself? So it was really eye-opening for me. I hope it's going to be opening for you, because this is really going deep for you. However, again, guys, I'm just trying to do my recap here with you and helping you in this way. But yeah, to get the real experience, the complete immersion, and doing this for 12 to 14 hours a day, it's a big difference than just me talking about this to you and you doing some kind of small exercise. So this is just, again, a recap and for you to have a taste of this. But yeah, I would recommend, of course, if you're open to do this UPW, I would definitely recommend doing that for you. Okay, so I'm going to stop now here. I'm sorry for this video being so long. However, I just wanted to finish this day one. And yeah, let me know what you think in your comments down below. If there is something that you are not understanding, let me know. I'm going to do my best to explain it. And of course, you know the drill. Hit like, subscribe, share my videos, and of course, check my other videos too. It's there for everybody to see. And yeah, with this, I would like to conclude this video, the longest one so far. I'm so sorry. But I hope you got some really good information here, and see you in my next video. Bye bye for now.